Welcome. I'm Tobin, and yes, sir, Bob, you have found me in the bathroom. Does a Tobin go in the house? Yes, a Tobin does. Does a Tobin shave in the house? Yes, I do. Today, we are shaving with the ice scuttle. You can see there it's already freezing over, or frosting over, right? Because it's frozen inside. Put a picture right up there that I just took of it. When I fill the ice scuttle, I only fill it to about here. That allows for expansion, and then also allows me to put the rubber stopper in, because when I have it in the freezer, I don't put the stopper in. I leave the stopper out, and then when I'm ready to use it, I put the stopper in. The Ice Scuttle Challenge, Douglas did this about 7 years ago. I'm going to put a link to that, and there'll be a couple other links in the description below. But Doug's original Ice Scuttle Challenge involved Frostbyte. I'll be using the matching splash and star jelly for that. I'm going to start this off the way that Doug started off the challenge. I'm going to use the now discontinued mentholated ice pre-shave. I'm going to use that to wash my face. I'll do that off camera just to save on time. And then I'm going to use the Ice Cube 2.0 in my homemade cube storage box. Yeah, just a second. Alexis and Emily are sleeping. I've already been applying this ice pre-shave. And just to save on time, I'll pause it. I'm going to rub this in, work it up into the face, rinse it, and then I'll be right back to apply the ice cube. Right back. So if you watch my outdoor content, you may have heard me talk about how when I'm in the house, I do things differently. And these videos from the bathroom, I'm going to try and make sure that I follow the routine that I typically do when I'm in the house. That's always begins with a shower, and if I don't shower immediately prior to the shave, I do almost always wash my face. Howdy. Let me pause you real quick. Are you okay? You look alright. It's gonna be a bruise. Just a second there, Bubba. Good thing I got some ice. You sure you're alright? I'm alright if you're alright. Alright. Let's rub some dirt on it and let's continue. So, before you tripped over your left foot and fell, I think I was saying following my home routine. So I just washed my face using the now discontinued ice, and I'm going to use as a pre-shave. Most of the time I use a pre-shave Ice Cube 2.0. Not only is this a better pre-shave, the soap itself, but comparing apples to apples when it comes to menthol. In case you didn't see my video when I made these, I got these little rubber stopper things that it sits on to dry, and then I've also used my Dremel to drill some holes in there. Ice Cube 2.0, very similar to the regular cube, minus the charcoal. And the menthol, there's double the menthol, almost exactly double the menthol, talking with Douglas, in the Ice Cube as compared to this. So when it comes to Doug's original Ice Cube challenge, we have actually stepped up the menthol. That's more than plenty. I do like using a pre-shave like the cube. Almost always I use one of Doug's cubes. If you saw in the photos there that I posted, you may have noticed like I have that ATG against the grain pre-shave. One of the things I personally like about a pre-shave, that when it comes to preparing the skin and the hairs, is I find normally I'd use the sink to get some water on the face, but I don't like running the sink and making you guys listen to it. But I find that one of the advantages of using a pre-shave like the cube is the hairs really seem to plumpen up. And that is a huge advantage when it comes to making the hairs easier to cut. Yes, this is ultra slick, and it acts as a lather booster. But one thing I think for me where it really, really helps is plumping up those hairs. All right. Hope you guys have been doing well. I have a first use Platinum Strangelet loaded into my Gillette Tech 29R999, also known as the lock type. Some people call it the Crazy Razor, most commonly known as the Psycho Tech. In 1949, Gillette was approached by the United States Army to create a locking razor. I'm not going to go too much into history or detail. I'll have some videos in the description that will tell you more about it in case you don't know. But basically, this is a hex key. The hex key goes inside and it locks the head in place so that the blade cannot be removed. Super, super cool. Used in prisons, hospitals, mental institutions, anywhere and everywhere, including, I guess, maybe in prisoners of war, for the uses that the military would use it for. So that's what we'll be mowing it down with. This is new old stock that I bought probably 6 months ago from Razor Emporium, and that included the box. This is not an original key. This is one of the ones that they have made a replica of. Menthol is a soap killer. I'll put some pictures of one of my other favorite additives for a cooling agent that doesn't use menthol, and that would be Barrister Man's Terror Aid. That is some cold stuff. But too much menthol, you will kill a lather, and if you haven't used a heavily mentholated soap, you'll notice that they're usually very soft in texture, and this CK6 formula and this Frostbyte is very, very soft compared to the other sets that you will get. Now, Doug and Fran, in my opinion, I've tried others, they have created not only one of the coldest soaps, if not the coldest soap, but a lot of times, whether it's Snakebite or Cryogen or some of these others, they're basically just straight up menthol, and they smell a lot just like menthol. What I like about Frostbyte is, talk about that in a second. Get the brush wet. They're not just using menthol. There is a ton of menthol in this. But to keep from over mentholating the soap, and there's actually twice as much menthol in the splash as there is in the soap. Get the water going slow there. I'm probably going to need it in a second. You'll see how the lather freezes to the inside of the scuttle. I probably should have scooped a little bit more than I did, but I think with the cube we'll have enough, because I am going to lose lather because it's going to freeze to the insides of the scuttle. So, tea tree oil is one of the, I'm trying to do this so you guys can see it for those who haven't seen it before. An ice scuttle, I mean. Tea tree oil is soothing and cooling, and if you've ever used a tea tree shampoo, you know it. My sister is a beautician, and she, before I got into the soaps that I use now, she hooked me up with all kinds of soap for years. I'm trying to think of the one tea tree brand that she had me using for a while, and it was hard to tell her no because I always got the stuff for free. She got her beautician, you know, discount, and made it very, very affordable for me. I'm going to put one more little scoop in there. I knew I should have used a little bit more. But when I first started using that stuff, holy moly oly, my head tingled for probably the first couple of weeks of, you know, daily or every other day use. All right, let's put a little bit of water on the face. My eyeball's already starting to drip a little bit. And tea tree smells really good. There's also a bunch of peppermint in this. Peppermint, oh, that's cold already. Peppermint naturally contains menthol, and of course has a cooling effect. And tea tree and peppermint oil are both extremely good for the skin. A lot of health benefits in both of those oils. This is a Sawdust Creation Studio. I like the handle, kind of looks like ice, like a pearl iridescence, is that the word, going on there. Beautiful handle, I love it. I love Bobby's work, Sawdust Creation Studios. I cannot recommend Bobby, his knots, and of course his handles enough. Did I mention there's a ton of menthol? There is. Not only do we have peppermint oil, but one of the stars of this show is peppermint CO2. And my understanding is most of that, and my understanding is where Doug is getting it is from France. That's where a lot of it comes from. I might be mistaken on that, but where I'm not mistaken is that it contains peppermint oil plus a ton of peppermint CO2. And that is where we get some excellent fragrance going on, because the CO2 is more of an aromatic, more true to the leaf fragrance than steam distilled. Beautiful lather. It's pretty nice doing this in the bathroom with all these mirrors. I got a mirror to your right, because see if we can get close enough for you guys to see. I got these folding door things. Pretty handy. I feel fancy. I'm all topless. Look at that. You like those shoulders? Have you guys seen those before? Hope you guys have been having a great weekend. It's late Friday night. Very late Friday night. Like, hey Google, what time is it?
It's 1:44 a.m.
It's 1:44 a.m. Saturday morning. I need to step this up because we're already a few minutes into this, and I haven't started shaving yet. I'll show you that scuttle after this first pass. Mint Absolute. Not distilled mint, but Mint Absolute. So again, we're stepping it up a notch just like we did with that CO2. Looking at the phone. Sorry guys, I'm not used to this. So this Psychotech, I've heard some people say, including Matt Pisarcik, in the video that you'll see in the link. I think he was guessing in it, and I should probably, send him a message and ask him when the last time he measured it. And the video that you guys will be seeing is like 6 years old. But if I recall correctly, they said in the video that the blade gap on this tech is 0.025, which would put it the same blade gap as what people call the pre-war, or what I call the peri-war, the one with the triangles, the drain slots. And it would also put it at the same blade gap as the regular flare tip. I measured this a couple of times. Like when I first bought it, And then also in preparation for doing this video, because part of my preparation for this video was watching the episode of I Lather Be Shaving, where Doug and Matt talked about this razor. And if you've never seen that episode, it's quite entertaining. All of them are full of info. It's like the only YouTube content, shaving related, that I've watched reruns of, if you will. There's several episodes that I've probably watched 4 or 5 times now, including the Christmas episode. It's almost become, sounds really schnurdy, like a Christmas tradition of watching that Christmas episode that they do. So my measurements is 0.030 of an inch, which puts it in line with the red tip. So it is one of the more efficient techs that you will ever find, and by my measurements, it puts it in line with my Canadian tech, the 1932 model it's called. This isn't freezing as much as some of them have. I'm really disappointed. In preparation for this video, I promise I do a little bit of prep before I do these videos. That's nice and cold. Geez, how many times have I done this in the last couple of weeks? I wanted to do this video like a month ago. We've been battling wildfires. Not like I haven't been battling wildfires, but we have wildfires all around us. And if you watch my content, you've seen me talk about that a little bit. We currently have 2 very close to us. One on the south side, where I've actually done videos from. Most recently, I think, was Outdoorsman Friend. That area is now gone. And then, like I was talking about in my full review of Olympus, it'd probably be a little wetter. I'm going to try and run with it. But to the east of our house here, there's a fire as well. And that one's probably 40 or 50 miles from here. But then the other one, that is where Outdoorsman Friend was recorded, up Fall Creek. If you're not familiar with that video, as the crow flies, maybe 12 or 15 miles. I actually woke up, I'm on vacation, woke up this morning about 6 a.m. to go to the bathroom, and here in Oregon, you really, Western Oregon especially, you don't need air conditioning. And in fact, I've never owned a home with air conditioning. We might have 5 or 6 days a year that get up around 100, and other than that, for the most part, we're in the mid-80s like we were today. So it's really not a necessity. So because of that, and also we have a lot of trees around our house too. We've been in this home for 6 years now. Our first night here was my 40th birthday, actually. Great birthday gift. Probably my best birthday gift to date that my wife and I were able to give me. I love this home. It's not big, but it's perfect. So I woke up around 6 a.m. We have, window fans and the windows open and whatnot. And we actually I want to say redesigned. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Can you tell it's 2 a.m.? I've been partying hard on this vacation. No drugs or alcohol. Lots of caffeine. What's the word when you redo a home? Oh God. Anyways, we did the counters and the carpets and the floors and the cupboards and stuff, right? And the windows. And so the windows are big. Bigger than what they would have been when the house was built, than the windows that we replaced. And so anyways, long freaking story short, or a short story freaking long, woke up around 6 a.m. and you could just taste it. It was horrible. It's not the first time that I've experienced that, unfortunately. First time this year. But, oh, that's cold. Ooh. When you leave that sitting in there like that and you're shaving, that knot just sits in there and it gets so cold. The coldest shave ever. Even if you just use a regular soap, like you could use John From or whatever, non-mentholated soap, and you put it in this ice scuttle, and that brush hits the skin after sitting there for a moment or two while you do a pass, oh buddy, you add in all this menthol, the tea tree, the peppermint. Oh, good night, Irene. That's a waker-upper. Something I do when I'm in the house too. When I do my Adam's apple. And I also do a lot of puffing of the cheeks when I'm home, not in front of the camera. And that residual slickness from the CK6 and that cube. Like I could probably do a little spritz of water right there. Look at that. Residual slickness for the newer guys is just after you've passed over like I did, how much slickness is still left over, and that is super slick. And if I put a little bit of moisture on there like I just did, it really brings it back. Oh. The fragrance of this, you get like this herbaceous an herbaceous spearmint aroma that is clean and cooling, and icy mint, camphorous. I love the fragrance of Frostbyte, especially in the summer. You can definitely, you know, pick up the menthol, but this is not just a mentholated soap. One of these days I'd like to do, if you guys know Todd, oh crap, I can't think of Todd's last name at the moment. Todd is the guy behind Take Care Man. What's your last name, Todd? Darn it. Years back, he did Cryogen soap versus this Frostbyte, and he said, and I agree, this is colder. Frostbyte is colder than Cryogen, and in my opinion, it smells a lot better. It actually has, you know, a fragrance to it besides just a menthol bomb. All right, I'll pause it and rinse my face. Be right back. All right, I'm rinsed. If you like menthol, at the very least, I recommend getting the splash. It does have, like I said, it has like twice the menthol that the soap does, and that's just because of the, like, oh, I'm forgetting my alum. Old habits are hard to break. Got in the habit of doing this. And that just goes back to, like I was saying, how menthol kills a lather. The Star Jelly also has, I believe it's like double the amount of menthol that the mentholated star jellies have. Very, very heavy dose of menthol. I'm gonna pause it real quick and let this set on the skin. I almost always just let the alum dry on the skin, and I do not rinse. For some people, it's too drying. As long as I'm using a splash or something afterwards, I don't mind it at all. And oh my gosh, this Frostbyte smells so good. Spearminty, an herbaceous spearmint. Clean, cooling, camouflage, icy minty. It's damn good. I freaking love it. An herbaceous spearmint. Camouflage. Cooling, clean. Damn good stuff, Maynard. I love it. I really do. The fragrance is amazing. If you like spearmint, if you like menthol, if you like peppermint, you'll love this fragrance. I guarantee it. If you don't like any of those things, you're not going to like it. Not one bit. Feels good. It feels so good on my skin right now. I love how his ingredients are always a little different. With this splash, we have denatured alcohol, tea tree hydrosol, glycerin, essential oils, henin, aloe vera, peppermint CO2 extract, menthol, and mint absolute. So good. It's good enough. Hit it with the star jelly. I do always, if I'm going to use a splash in a balm, I always do the splash first and then the balm, and that's just because of the high concentration of alcohol. Basically what I'm doing normally is putting the drying alcohol on the face. Normally I'd let it sit a few moments longer than I just did, but because of the video and time, I'm applying this sooner. But putting that alcohol on, and as we all know, well, there I go assuming, as most of us know, alcohol does dry the skin. And so I've never had a problem with it because of the skin foods that are in the splashes that I use, like the splashes from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. But just in case, that is when I follow it up with a balm that will put that moisture back into the skin. I don't have any problems with the PAA splashes. In my opinion, the PAA splashes are the best splashes on the market. There might be some $50 or $60 bottle out there somewhere that's better, but when it comes to stuff in my den, when it comes to performance and, in my opinion, fragrance and fragrance strength, there is not a better splash on the market. It's just a matter of finding a fragrance that you prefer. And you know me, I'm a frag head. I love a whole bunch of them. I want to thank you guys for joining me in my bathroom. Yes, a Tobin does go in the bathroom. It's the little big things, like a roof over your head and frostbite on your face without having to go to the hospital. Feeling nice and minty. I'm gonna climb in bed with my wife here in a few. She's sound asleep. Might just wake her up just with my exuberating minty aura. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think I could have used, if I would have filled it up more, I might have got the effect that I was looking for. I'm really bummed. I'll have to do another one and do it right and show you guys just how cool it is when it does freeze the soap, because I failed you on that and I'm sorry. This is Tobin saying goodbye from the bathroom. Tomorrow I'll see you out in the woods for my review of Vloyd, which has just come back from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Take care, and gotta say it because something that happened recently. If you don't have anything nice to say, Don't say anything at all. Be cool. Take care.